All right, so welcome to Sometimes Love Isn't Enough, the Parenting Through Challenges podcast. And I am just so honored to share a beautiful guest with you today. Dina and I have been together in a coaching program working with our mentor for a couple of years now. And there are just so many reasons why I love just bringing Dina's energy to you. So Dina, welcome.
Thank you, Angie. Likewise, like your energy is beautiful. I just think it's going to be an amazing conversation. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, yeah.
Appreciate it.
So I do really like to just jump right in. And so yeah, Dina, I would love it if you would share with our listeners what led you here today, where you are today in life, in purpose, and whatever you want to share.
Thank you, Angie. Honestly, I feel like my why and what wasn't very clear. So God took me through several incidents in my life, and I think I had this strong craving to learn more about myself. So I know you're a human design coach yourself, and I'm a human design coach as well. So I think there's a lot of confirmation now. But as a kid, as a young adult, or graduating from my college and then having my first job and moving on from there on, I see that I had a lot of leadership skills, to be honest. And this thing of like constant, you know, urge to be wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, wanting to have some sort of like space for myself, some sort of connection where I can process my emotions. That was
Mm,
shut down for the most part because I'm a reflector now in human design. I'm a 1% of the population. So I love to own that space. I love to be the mirror. Consider me as like the weather person, right? So I'm supposed to mirror back the missing gaps. So I deeply am very intuitive and I can see things smell like a mile apart when it's not in alignment. I deeply feel that. It wasn't me before. So the overdoing, the overachieving, the overgiving, over criticizing, overthinking. Today, I feel like I've created this end of over for myself. I did not get here though, just overnight. It has been this constant quest to like understand why I cannot emotionally connect with my loved ones. Although they've provided such great stuff like education, amazing, bringing up, but that emotional connection, that's not being taught at all. And having been raised in a very competitive, like very punitive environment, anything and everything was not good enough. So you had to be the top person so that people like, so that I was safe, so that I was seen, so that I was heard.
yeah.
And I was the shortest in my team representing my province playing volleyball, and I was a captain. And I had to give up my sports because I cannot have sports and education going on at the same time. I got to be the science student, right? I got to do my labs, right? I got to go study. So I think it started from there. So it was like, I can really get good at something, but then I have to give up. And this pattern got repeated like in relationships, everywhere. The start stop cycle. Hmm. Can you
Yeah.
guys relate? Like as a mom, and there's several incidents in my life where, as a reflector, now that I understand, I've pivoted so many times to take the leap of faith. Being raised in India, right? We take care of our parents. So, having that responsibility on our shoulder. I went to Dubai, worked there for 4 years, took upon that responsibility to support people like my loved ones back home. And, you know, um, just out of the university, being an engineer, again, there I was like the best outgoing student award, right? Did it all to only understand that, man, what is the point here? Like, I'm just trying to be seen. Do I
Mm,
really see myself? If I cannot really see myself, no one else can see me.
Yeah.
That just sink in for a moment, right? It's like, oh my gosh, that led to failed relationships. That led to like this thing of like, I cannot be doing this late night things, party life. That's not me at all. I had that going for a little bit, and then I was like, no, 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 that's not my people. This is not my people. And then I would constantly put pressure on me to be that workaholic. And then coming here to Canada, like a huge swing again, like, that resiliency of like 100-degree swing in weather, new atmosphere, new people, leaving my friends and family behind. Like, it's a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
So I believe, and then I've had some personal losses. One being I lost one of my best friend in Dubai in a matter of weeks. And I came like a lightning speed, like didn't even have any sort of notice. We're just relaxing, enjoying my sister's bachelor party, and she got seizure attacks. And I literally remember carrying her in my arms, and I'm like, what the heck is happening? To only realize she was fourth stage of brain tumor, and then we lost her only daughter to her parents.
Wow.
And she told me one thing that kind of still like I feel her spirit. um, she told me, Dina, I couldn't become a mom. I couldn't have the love of my life. I couldn't lead a life with purpose. My life felt like black and white. Can you make your life colorful? Got chills as I say this. And that stuck with me for a long time, Angie. Can I make my life meaningful and colorful? Yeah. And then when there was this calling of like marriage and wanting to become a mom, I always want to have two kids. I have always this desire. And my first kiddo 5 years ago when I had her COVID time, right? I hit my rock bottom. 2020 was my like a rock bottom year. And I was mentally preparing to go give birth all by myself because they told me like my partner cannot come and all that. But luckily at the end, he was allowed to. But not just that, I was battling chronic inflammation again because of all of the repression and all, it would come with my loved ones, it would come sort of aggression because I think I was to the point that I would like given everything that I loved. Like, I'm like, I cannot keep anything. Like, who am I? What is my identity?
Yeah.
And so when I took upon that power in 2020, when I took my power back, I reversed my chronic inflammation. My doctor told me I'm going to lose my kid overnight. She's 5 years now. I think when you can get connected to your life force and that power, I left my corporate, I birthed my business. It was just magical. And from then on, I was like, you know what? I want to be the mom that I can share emotional connection with my daughter. Now, my daughters of two girls.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And where I can understand them, where I know that traditional way doesn't apply, where I can just be like, you do this and you listen to me, and this is how we operate, and this is the world that we're in. You shut your mouth. You can't be talking back. You can't raise your voice. You cannot stand up for yourself. I was done with all of that,
Yeah.
honestly.
Uh, thank you for being one of the many moms who is
You.
ready to break old generational patterns, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Well, as I was listening to your story, even though I feel like I know so much about you, we I've never quite heard your story pulled together in that sequence. And one thing that really stood out for me is, well, one, I know that you're a reflector type. Now my listeners do too, but um and you can explain this better than I can, but a reflector type means that all of your centers are open, right? It means
Hmm.
that you sense and feel and sample all of the different types of energy, our fear energy, our emotional energy, our inspiration, our pressure, our
Mhm.
energy, our need to prove ourselves, right? You feel all of that in a much deeper way because of your design, right?
Yes. And this is where things have gone really bad when my awareness was not there. Let's just
Yeah.
say that because I have a wide open emotional center, wide open instinctual center, and a wide open communication center. I've
Oh,
always had these voices and beautifully articulated stuff, but with a wide open emotional center, even before knowing human design, right? Like since 2.5 years, I've studied and I've known this now, but it's always been like personal development, understanding my emotions, wanting to learn emotional intelligence, wanting to process my emotions, reversing my chronic inflammation, wanting to heal through repression. It's always been there. That's natural calling and this intuition, being open. Like I'm like literally can feel people, but as a reflector with wide open, I do have this protection and it's gotten really strong. So there's no entanglement that happens. It was in the past. Now it feels like I do have this plexiglass and I'm very intentional when I expose myself. I cover that up really well. I
yeah.
feel quite grounded. I protect myself. Like again, all of this energetics, all of these things was far before like I knew human design. And I'm always drawn to mirrors. Always drawn to mirrors, and now I know why. Like my clients laugh at this. 2020, 2021, when I launched my business, the first exercise that I did with my clients, mirror exercise,
That's
literally
funny.
understanding what is underneath all of this, the masking, the faking, the expectations, the responsibilities, the lifestyle that we've created
Yeah.
was stripped away.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah.
That
Wow.
work, Angie, has been so deep. It's experiential, it's the deep wisdom. I don't know, it's just like so personal. And it's very much energetically infused. It feels like a healer guy. Like I don't know what to call, but it's beautiful. And I own that now fully, you know? Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like how it all is a confirmation now that I know I was meant to be unique. I was never meant to operate in a traditional way. I'm a non-energy type. I was never
Mhm.
meant to go, 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 do, do, do. I was meant to honor my melancholic state. But was that the case? No. I was pushed to perform beyond,
Yeah.
overexert myself all the time to only
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah. When I love the words that you use, that you knew these things about yourself all along, but it was understanding your design that gave you the confirmation. And I guess I picked up too, it gave you the freedom to
Yeah.
be you. And I
Yes.
as I much like you, right? Like I share human design with my clients and they're like, well, yeah, obviously that's me. But I
Yeah.
think it's that awareness of, yeah, obviously that's me. And now I get to be me and stop wearing
Yeah.
that mask, stop pretending,
Hmm.
stop trying to fit into somebody else's box.
Yes.
This
Yes.
this is why I love using human design with parents because
Hmm.
yeah, we've got our own junk to work through, right? And
Yeah.
that is a challenge in itself. But with our kids,
Hmm.
we even from a really young age, our kids have already started to develop this story about who they are based on the feedback we gave them,
Yeah.
which even in the best parenting circumstances, you had shared maybe some stricter parenting or more competitive um, uh, parenting styles. But even if that isn't the case, even in the best
Hmm.
parenting scenarios, when we don't understand our kids and we're parenting them through our own lens, right? I
Right.
imagine if you were parenting your kids, I imagine your girls are not both reflectors.
Oh no, but they're not energy types. So even that's so interesting. Like my husband is an advisor. My first daughter is an advisor. My second one is an initiator and I'm a reflector. So
My goodness.
yeah, it's a
That's
powerful combo of non-energy types.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
each of your types has such a specific purpose
Yeah.
And each of your types has a you might all be non-energy types, but you all have such a very unique aura.
It is. Like, for example, like, of course, I'm a new mom again, and I have my kid all the time around me, and skin to skin sometimes. Like, I do have her around me, and that initiator aura with the reflector, like, so many ideas spark. Like, I just gave an example before it went live, this
Mhm.
recording. I was telling Angie I have this strong convictions lately about wanting to start this sacred space for mom, and it's just because I'm done and I'm so tired of like how leaders are operating from that same lens of corporate identity at home. High expectations, not understanding, like discipline to the point that kids are so scared, of like lowering their armor and being vulnerable. They just want to control, like,
Mhm.
and because of this, it's always the sparky thing that happens is not so good spark. And just with my personal story, right? We don't know. Like I told you about my friend's story. I've had a photographer with my personal brand who did my photo shoot, a single mom for three great kids. She lost her life three years ago when I was like trying to wish her for International Women's Day. And like, hey, so and so, you have like, you are that person who just gave birth with like photos and creating that logo for me for my brand that I've always been grateful for. You always remain in my heart. I'm just trying to wish her, and a mom replied to me, actually, you know what? I lost my daughter.
Oh,
With she had breast cancer. She didn't know about it. It was too late and all that. It's like, oh
yeah.
my gosh, these things, right? Like our lifetime is so like we don't know. Everything is so unknown. But what am I
Mhm.
doing with that space, the time, the energy that I have right now?
Yeah.
That's where I decided, Angie, honestly, like I'm done playing small. I'm done wearing this mask of this corporate. Like it doesn't suit me as a reflector. I need to be in an environment that feels really good.
Yeah.
That cannot happen when there's too much noise and, you know, by the books and all that happening, because what I'm going to reflect back is not going to be good.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to mirror back those gaps. It's going to come really harsh to people because they're so used to playing by the books, being in their comfort zone, and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always been a threat corporate. Like, no, 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 you're here. No, but I see things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did,
Yeah. And now that I understand all this and bring in awareness, I want to own that space. And I want to give my kiddos like full permission to operate as a non-energy type, even though we live in a builder world. That
yeah.
itself is a huge difference. I want to take naps during the day, afternoon, and then I feel so refreshed. I feel
Yeah.
so good. I cannot operate all the time 24/7 because I'm not a generator. I need to
Hmm.
go into my deep melancholic states, and that's where my creativity bursts. And
Yeah.
that means I'll be off maybe for weeks, and that is okay. But I'll show up for people that truly matter to me and my
Yeah.
clients and all of it. Just understanding that and honoring that has been game changing for me, because when I was operating like a generator, and that to like a 5-1 leadership generator, um yeah, no, it was all the overdoing, overgiving, burnout, judgment, criticism, like who the heck I am, who are they, this kind of like the wave that was going on was, yeah, it wasn't individual empowerment. It wasn't like, it was mostly tribal, but that's not how it was supposed to operate.
Yeah. 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 When you bring up such good points too, right? You talked about this as you were sharing your story initially too, but when we are out of alignment with who we are and we're not listening, because most of us don't know, right? Our body shows us.
Yeah.
And our body can do an amazing job of giving us really powerful signals that we're out of alignment. And it can show up as, autoimmune or physical pain or,
Inflammation.
inflammation, cancers, right?
Yeah.
I firmly believe that our bodies are seeking alignment. And when we know what we're
Special.
aligning to, it alleviates so many physical things.
Yeah. And it feels light. It feels freedom. Like you talked about it, right? It feels coming home. Like it feels like this is how
Mhm.
I'm supposed to operate. You know what? This energetic exchange that we're having right now, like, I hope when people listen, like, they can't see each other, like the video part, but audio part, right? It still has that frequency. But right now, as I see you, that's so special because it's an alignment. That's what I'm talking about. For the most part, I felt like I wasn't in alignment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that costed me a lot. Like, not just like wrong job, the wrong, it's just like every single day, Angie. Like, think about it, right? Like, you start your day on the wrong on the wrong frequency.
Yes.
So then what happens, the actions is just a response to what's happening inside.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think too, right? Like you and I have been in our experiment, as
Yeah.
some people call it, for a couple of years. And
Hmm.
it's not all sunshine and roses, right? Like some days I still wake up and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Whew, the anxiety
Yeah.
is
It was
high
hard. Hmm.
today," right? The difference between now and before I understood where my alignment was before it was this almost victim state, like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
the anxiety has taken over. I don't know what to do about it. Do I need to see a doctor? Do I need a therapist? Do I need medication? Do
Hmm.
I need, like, what do I need? And now it is a key signal to me when I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling frustrated, right? I'm a generator. Frustration
Yeah.
is my jam
Yeah.
when I'm out of alignment. And it is such a key signal to me when I'm feeling frustrated. I don't go into that victim loop like I used to before.
Mhm.
I instead take a pause and have this power to say, like, oh, wow, I wonder what's out of alignment today.
Mhm. Wow, that's powerful. Yeah, and that pause that you're talking about, that doesn't come overnight. Oh my gosh, even for me to get to that pause, because when you have breathed into struggle for so long and you want to be seen, you want to be heard, you're looking for validation from the outside because you simply cannot give it for yourself from the inside.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And when that happens on a continuous basis, and it happens at work, it happens as you come out of work, it happens as you get up. Like, can you imagine the stress that your body goes through?
Yeah, yeah. As you were talking, I was thinking about that oftentimes I'll use this analogy that before we really understand who we are and what we need, it's as if
Mhm.
we package up our happiness, we put it into a little ball and we hand it to the next person and we say, like, here's my happiness. It resides with you. I don't get a choice in whether or not I feel happy. You get to choose. It's that
Oh,
pure
wow.
responsibility that we're passing over to others because
Yes.
we think that it's all outside of us. And you said it a little bit before, but that happiness, that alignment, that satisfaction, whatever our key signal is that we're in alignment, that's always within us. And we think it's outside of us.
Yeah. So good. So good. Like when I got that really clear in my head and my body, like I just knew, like I talked about, like connecting with that life force, right? Like, and that big why, right? To your first question, I think we're going back there again. That just came so strong because I knew deep inside in my heart, like I want to be a mom. And last year, this time, I was pregnant, but I lost my, it was chemical pregnancy. So really, and I was in complete depressed state because I deeply knew that I want to have two kids. Um, and then it deeply got connected to, again, like reliving our past traumas and then mom guilt carried up. And then again, like, okay, What do I do with my business and the leadership, right? All of that. But like you said, Angie, nothing can take off, nothing can survive, and nothing will be fulfilled if we are not in alignment
Yeah.
within ourselves. And
Yeah.
that's why 5 years ago, I still remember Christmas. I was hurting, had my surgery. I wore this beautiful red dress right beside the Christmas tree so that people do not see me. And I
Yeah.
picked up the bold dress, the bold lipstick, because that just felt right. I was in a lot of pain. And for women, especially, shame is an intense emotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to uncover that is very painful. So
Yeah.
I had to heal through that. And today, like when I talk about that red dress, I know someday I'm going to write a book on that red dress and how
Mhm.
personal it was for me and how it became a piece of embodiment of shame instead of like today, that clothing is a piece of embodiment of strength for me because I've healed through a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I pick up that clothing and I wear, let me tell you, literally have chills saying that. I feel so good. But the first time that I wore, it was just to mask my pain, my shame,
Yeah.
everything that I felt. And that guilt that I'm a mom, such a beautiful kiddo, but what's happening? Who am I? Like truly.
Yeah.
And that's where the why became so strong that I've had major losses. This is done. I need to know myself. I need to heal through a lot. I need to know how to process my emotion. I need to own my space. I need to know what is that I truly love and enjoy. And who am I? Like, how am I supposed to process my energy? Because when you are a vessel that feels really heavy, like you cannot be creative, you cannot be innovative. You're going to be a disruptor in a wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that quest and that, like, the why, right? That's where I think my journey to like entrepreneurship and personally taking that up and giving that back and living that legacy for my kids is everything for me. That's my big why. That's why I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's what I want to pass down, like you said, that happiness, that alignment. Because, like my friend, like that brand photographer, right? Like, never know, right? Never know. But if there's
Hmm.
something that I can pass along, because my daughter was not, she's not going to remember how much I spent on a dress for her or which restaurant did I take or what bills did I pay.
Yeah.
What she's going to remember is how mama showed up. How did she deal with the tension that she felt
Hmm.
or the pressure or what happened when there was an argument? How did mama and daddy cope up with that? What happens when she struggled? What happened when she went through those multiple surgeries? She's seen me in pain.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's going to remember how she felt with you,
Right.
right? Good, bad, or otherwise. If she feels stressed
Yeah.
or overwhelmed or
Yes.
sad or angry, or happy or loved, those are the things she'll carry with her.
There's a saying, right? When you, what is that? When you see the hammer, you see the nail. It's the
Hmm.
same thing when I'm in pain. What's the outcome? What are they going to feel? What are they going to remember?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. We had talked about this a little bit before, but I had shared before we started recording that my view about our role as parents, that my view is that I think I don't know. I can put myself back to my kids are 24 and 19. And I think that I had kids because I wanted somebody to love. I don't know if I really thought much more about it then. But
Mhm.
when I think now about what I really truly see our role as parents, I see our role as being stewards for their energy. That our role is to do our very best, not to create productive members of society. I think I think as my kids got older, I was like, oh, please just be productive members of society, right? Almost this
Yeah.
desperation
Hmm.
of like, don't be a drain on society. But I think of it so much bigger, so much deeper now that it isn't just about whether or not my kids make money and contribute to the
Right.
economy, right? That's not their job. They have a very unique energetic purpose, and I know that now. I didn't know
Mm,
that before, but I know that, I believe that, I trust that now. And so I think it is my role as their parent, even though my kids are young adults, it's my role to help help be a steward for their energy, help see them, help see, by me seeing their needs, their
hmm.
energetic needs, their needs to maybe not work. Both my kids are also non-energy types.
Oh, really? Okay.
And but knowing that about them puts me
Hmm.
in such a better position to not push them, like go out and get a 9 to 5 job. You need to have a regular job, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't have that
Don't go,
expectation.
did you do, right? Hmm.
Yeah. I don't expect that of either of my kids because that's not how I know that they're built.
Hmm.
And I'm so curious, you said one of your kiddos is a manifester or initiator, and the other is a projector or an advisor, depending on the vocabulary you use. I'm so curious knowing that about them. I know your kiddos are so little, but what thoughts have you had or what experiences have you had about how you get to parent them differently than perhaps you were parented when your parents, not knowing, but they assumed you were a generator, right?
Yeah, yeah, just like I feel like every parent there, at least when I was raised, like, no, you got to be a generator. You got to have
Yeah.
energy all the time and not even do something that you're passionate about. You got to do everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so coming to your question, Angie, I love that question. I was a little bit of surprise with my second one, just because the first was like, oh, my husband is an advisor. Oh, my kiddo is an advisor. You know what I mean? Like, but having an initiator, like my second one, and I was like, wow. And then me, a reflector, and this combo, like now that I observe, of course, my little one is very little, she's 5 months, right? But with my older daughter, now that she's 5, she's a mental projector advisor. So she has to talk through everything. When she says something, if someone cuts her off or we're talking and she says something and we not give her space, forget it. She'll get really upset. That even understanding that part of her and just accepting that and letting her speak through her ideas and bouncing it off to us, and it just helps her feel safe and heard and be
Yeah.
seen. And she wants to participate and do a lot of activities. Now that I know and I've coached my husband with this, you know, because she's so little and she feels so excited. She's a very people person, and and with that 2-4, right? Like she's a 2-4 advisor. So the 4 in her inner body, like it's just natural, like natural connecting and wanting to be with people she knows and she loves. Again, that little thing of like, if you know, public profiles. But here's the thing, just limiting our activities and letting her sleep. And then it has been a game changer to like how, because I've had this trauma again carried down. Like I cannot let my kid, that's subconscious. Now I know I'm more aware of it. The minute like I let my kiddo cry, because see, I have not done that to process my emotion. I've learned that something when I do cry means I'm doing something wrong. Like I'm not giving her full attention. But now I'm like, no, you can cry. You can take the time out. You can process, but you can come back to mommy and talk it through and tell me, what did you learn? Like, what happened? Like, even with the transition here with my little one now, she's always had attention. Like, now learning that she has to share her mama and daddy was a big thing for her.
Yeah.
And, she's like, oh, mama, she pulls my hair, she does this. Actually, what she's saying is, mommy, you're giving her more attention. You have not played with me today or given me attention. When
Yeah.
I when that comes is when I let her cry, give her space, and then we hug each other. Touch is her other love language. You know, when I give that attention and she tells me, Ashley, you know what? This is it. And then it gets back to this thing of like, I just want to hug my younger child. Like, oh my God, how many times I've not been seen and heard? How many times I've asked not to cry? Crying is weakness, that's not good.
Yeah.
And I've seen how that has played in my entire adult life.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I let myself cry and let myself feel. I want to just feel, right? Like surrender, accept. Like that has taken so much practice. Saying no to so many things, like just disconnecting and letting people know like it's not the right thing, it's not the right fit, you're not my person, and that is okay. We're not here for everyone, and that is okay. Even to learn that, Angie, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Oh, that's so profound. The little tweaks that you've been able to make with your 5-year-old. And I
Yeah.
think, like when I think about just parenting in general, when you take human
Mhm.
design out of the equation, what I have witnessed, for several generations back is it's like this pendulum swing, right? Like,
Wow.
and maybe it wasn't like that in your culture, I don't know, but I feel like in many of the people in where I grew up, it's like really strict parents end up raising kids who are really, really lenient parents. And then those really lenient parents end up
Mhm.
raising kids who end up being strict parents. It's like this pendulum swing of like, my parents were so strict. I will never be like that. I'm going to be the most lenient parent. And then, oh my gosh, my parents were so lenient. I didn't even
Right.
know if they
And then you're
loved
gonna
me
be
enough.
strict.
Rules, right? And I think inserting human design into that equation stops
Yeah.
us from this like willy-nilly, like, do I need to be a strict parent? Do I need to be a
Yeah.
parent? And
Yeah.
instead
Oh,
saying,
so good.
what parent does
Really
that
thought about
child
that.
want? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your kids might need, one of your kiddos might need a little bit more encouragement than the other, or one of your
Yeah.
kiddos might need more space than the other, or one
Yeah.
might, different social environments than the other one might need.
Exactly. And
And this,
the way they're operating could be so different because an initiator, like I'm just thinking, when they grow, like maybe one just wants to initiate all the time and cut off an advisor. You know what I mean? Because advisors just want to project and that might not go well. So me
yeah,
just learning that right now and educating them like from very young age and this respecting values of like, no, we listen to everybody, we give that space, and then we kind of go from there. Like,
yeah,
that just is so much gold in there because this is exactly what I'm dealing with a client right now. Like, of course, leadership is one thing, but when it comes to our kids, like one's advisor, one's an initiator, and then there's a generator mom, right? Who wants like, oh, perfect things for their kids, but this advisor wants to project like, sometimes it's crossing boundaries, and then the initiator just wants to cut her other kid off, like our sibling off, just because she wants to be in power and control.
yeah, yep,
So,
yeah,
and then and then the mom with like, okay, trying to maintain the peace, but also like, wanting to learn and understand, and so little things like that. Because remember, when you're pressured, it just transfers, right? Like the hope becomes guilt. Thing that you think is possible is not going to be possible. Your plans are going to change. The way you communicate next with my partner is going to change. Everything shifts.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
When what you were just sharing too about you were sharing about your client and, the dynamics with their kids. And what I love too, so in addition to human design, I also use a couple of other frameworks. One is called mistaken motivations,
Mhm.
which really outlines unmet needs of our kids. And when you take human design together with mistaken motivations, it helps us see that perhaps the initiator kiddo
Yeah.
who wants to be in charge, maybe that's not a problem, right? If it is their role on this planet to help
Mhm.
get things going, what if in the dynamic of their family, they were held up as the one who
Yeah.
who gets to make more of the decisions, even when they're a kid or a teenager,
Yeah.
when old parenting styles would have said like, oh no, mom and dad are in charge. You were kind of saying that earlier, right? Like you obey
Yeah.
and
You
and
just
I
obey. You just like
yeah,
shut your mouth, or, even when things are wrong, right? Like you're not supposed to. You're always supposed to respect. And yeah, so wow, that's powerful what you just shared.
Could you
Yeah,
imagine in a couple of generations if our kids didn't have any crap to work through? Wouldn't that be wild, right?
right?
My goodness.
Wow. Yeah. So I feel it's so good that we're like starting so early. You know what I mean? Like at least like um let's teenager, young adult, like I wish I had that in my, as a teenager, or I wish they understood. You know what I mean? Like so that
Yeah.
now I just want to protect that space for my kids.
Mhm.
Um
I
and
know.
we truly believe that learning our design, learning our kids' design, and um, really helping them own that space is going to be that next magical thing for everyone's empowerment. I don't feel like we need to follow the gurus or like just studying us and our design is going to be powerful. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm all about.
I
Yeah.
think so too. And I think I can't remember if I said it once we were recording or beforehand. This is why I don't like to chat before we record.
Right.
I can't remember. But right, like I think it is our role to create leaders. And
Yes.
your focus is on
Probably very engaged. Hmm.
yeah, your focus is to help develop leaders and really tap into their skills. And I think as parents, we have the ability to create that next generation of
Yeah, I love
stronger,
it.
more empowered leaders too.
I just love that. A little example for that. So I have my podcast, Leadership Liberation, and my daughter, I've got this just little things like this, right? Just for her
Mhm.
to know that she can be a part of it. Just like
Yeah.
mommy, she can go on the mic. Like I have this mic, but she can go on this mic and talk. And then she practices out, of course, being an advisor. And, she's like such deep insights, and especially being a mental projector advisor. She's like, her communication is so strong, and this little prop, that's it. She comes to
Mhm.
my office and she's like just imitates her mommy. Little things like that, you
Yeah.
know I truly feel like she's seen, she's heard, like just
Mhm.
letting her be in the flow, and yeah, just enjoying the space, and just saying like you're beautiful, you got this, like the positive reinforcement and positive things, and we fail and that is okay. Like I've started using those language more so now, and it's just making a huge difference, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Uh, Dina, I could chat with you forever, but I want to keep this, to a length where our listeners can follow along and listen. But I do, before we're done here, I do want to two things. One, ask if you have any practical tips that you'd like to share with parents. I know we talked about so many different things about, the importance of the inner work and taking responsibility and seeing our kids through a different lens and your role in supporting leaders. There's so many things we talked about today. If you could distill that down to maybe something practical that you would suggest with the listeners, we'll start there.
Yeah, I think as a reflector mirror exercise, that's the first thing that just comes to me. Um, I'm gonna go really strong on that. Visibility beats everything, your leadership, your performance. You can be present, but if your presence is not being deeply felt by your loved one, your kiddos especially, it's probably going to be hard to listen. I'm going to stir up a lot, probably with a lot of people who are listening, but here's the truth, and it's a harsh truth. What your kiddos are picking up is not going to be good, right? Including this messages even from myself. So I try to include mirror exercise. I teach that with my clients. It's simple as like stand in front of the mirror. Who am I being today? What is the tone I want to set for the rest of the day? How can I be of service? Can I love myself fully today without any sort of judgment and stuff like that? And just connect with a version of you that feels vulnerable, that feels like your younger self, like different versions. And a lot comes through, a lot comes through, from stories to people who have hurt you, faces showing up on the mirror, a lot that my clients reveal. Like for me, it has revealed the pain. I can go on and on. You start there
Yeah. Wow.
every single day, and it is so powerful because that is going to reveal a repressed or reactive emotion that you haven't processed and that needs attention.
Mm.
My friend, when you have gotten to the point and you have that awareness and it is coming forth, you simply know that you have deployed a strategy that you have told yourself because it's already available. And that's how you're going to operate. And this is automatic, it's unconscious. And this is what we're transmitting, right, to our kids.
Mm-hmm.
So please do me a favor. And I told Angie I'm starting this sacred space for moms called, called Mom. And I would love to share that link with
Yeah.
Angie. It's a sacred space called A Called Mom who wants to study her and her design and her kids' design and stuff like that. And I'm all about, my podcast is called Leadership Liberation. I'm all about visibility, being seen and heard. That's my thing. Feel free, you can see my thing there. Feel free to go on YouTube and listen there. It's all about managing leadership and identity. I'm huge on identity work and emotional work. So if this has resonated with you, please go, check out the link that I'll be sharing with Angie, the Sacred
Yep.
Space, and my podcast, Leadership Liberation. The links are available, and there's a lot for you to binge watch and connect with me. So thank you, Angie. Thank you
Yeah.
for
Oh,
having me.
Dina, thank you so much for hanging out here in Sometimes Love Isn't Enough. And I know your story will resonate with so many parents. And yeah, I'm hopeful to fill up your sacred space with moms who really want to understand themselves and their kids better. So thank you so much, Dina. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me, Angie. We're going to have this again going on, just reversing the role and me interviewing you soon.
Yes, absolutely. I cannot wait. So,
Thank
all
you.
right. Be well.